What if I told you a huge, powerful empire didn't fall because of a giant war but because of something you can't even see? Not a sword. Not a bomb. Not an army. Something quiet. Something sneaky. And by the end of this video, you'll understand what that secret weapon was and why it still matters today, even in your life. Imagine a giant kingdom. It had everything. Strong soldiers. Big cities. Tall walls. Gold, food, and power. People from faraway lands were scared of it. It looked unbeatable. Like the strongest team ever. But here's the truth: even the strongest team can lose. Not because they are weak, but because something goes wrong inside. That's exactly what happened. At first, nothing seemed wrong. The army was still strong. The leaders were still in charge. People were still living their daily lives. But slowly, very slowly, small problems began to appear. Not big ones. Tiny ones. Like cracks in a wall. And the dangerous part? Almost no one noticed them. Now here's where things get really interesting. The thing that caused all this wasn't something you could hold in your hand. It wasn't a weapon you could see. It was something invisible. It was stories, rumors, confusion, and the way people were made to think. Yes, thinking itself became the battlefield. Instead of attacking the empire from the outside, this weapon worked from the inside. It slowly changed what people believed about each other, about their leaders, and about their world. And when people stop trusting each other, everything starts to break. Let's make this super simple. Imagine you and your friends are building the biggest Lego castle ever. Everyone is helping. One builds the walls. Another builds the towers. Someone else adds decorations. Everything is going great because everyone trusts each other. Now imagine someone whispers, "Hey, I think he's not really helping." Then someone else says, "I heard she wants to break the castle." Now what happens? People stop trusting. They stop helping. Some get angry. Some walk away. And suddenly the castle doesn't get finished. It falls apart. Not because the Lego pieces were bad, but because the team broke. That's exactly what happened in the empire. People started hearing different stories. Some true. Some false. Some made up completely. Rumors spread. Fear grew. And people began to turn against each other. Instead of working together, they started fighting. But wait, it gets even more intense. It wasn't just about bad stories. There was also too much information. Messages everywhere. News from different places. Different opinions. Different versions of the truth. People didn't know what to believe anymore. And when the brain gets confused like that, something interesting happens. People either stop caring, or they believe whatever feels right even if it's not true. Think about that. Not what is true, but what feels true. And that made everything worse. Now imagine being a leader in that empire. Your job is to make big decisions. But now, everyone is telling you different things. One person says, "Go left." Another says, "No, go right." Someone else says, "Stop completely." Who do you trust? Because of this, leaders became confused. They stopped making strong, smart plans. Instead, they started guessing. And when leaders guess, mistakes happen. Big ones. Now here's the scary part. From the outside, everything still looked fine. The empire still had its army. Still had its money. Still had its buildings. Still looked powerful. But inside? It was weak. This is like a chocolate egg. From the outside, it looks solid. But inside it's hollow. And with one small hit it cracks. That's what was happening. The empire looked strong, but inside, it was falling apart. And here's the most surprising part. There wasn't one big moment where everything ended. No huge explosion. No giant final battle. Instead, it was a lot of small problems. A wrong decision here. A delay there. More confusion. Less trust. Again and again. Until finally the empire couldn't hold itself together anymore. And it collapsed. Slowly. Quietly. Inevitable. Now here's why this story is super important. Because that same invisible weapon still exists today. Actually, it's even stronger now. Think about your phone. Think about YouTube. Think about social media. Every day, you see messages, videos, and posts. Some are true. Some are not. Some are made to help you. Some are made to trick you. Information travels faster than ever. And just like in that empire, too much confusing information can cause problems. People start arguing. People stop trusting. People believe different things. And suddenly groups break apart. Sound familiar? That's the same pattern. The same invisible weapon. So what's the big lesson here? It's simple but powerful. The strongest group is not the one with the biggest army. It's the one where people trust each other. Trust is like glue. It holds everything together. Once that glue breaks, everything starts falling apart. So what can you do? Even if you're young, this matters a lot. First, always ask questions. If you hear something strange, don't believe it right away. Think. Ask. Check if it's really true. Second, don't spread rumors. Even small ones. Because small rumors can grow into big problems, just like tiny cracks can break a whole wall. Third, focus on truth, not just feelings. Something might feel right, but that doesn't mean it is right. And most importantly, be someone people can trust. Because trust is one of the most powerful things in the world. Stronger than weapons. Stronger than money. Stronger than power. And remember the empire we talked about? It didn't lose because it was weak. It didn't lose because someone attacked it harder. It lost because it didn't understand the real danger. The danger inside. The biggest lesson? The most powerful weapon isn't something you can see. It's something that changes how people think, what they believe, and who they trust. If you found this story interesting, you're going to love the next video where we explore how this same invisible weapon is being used in today's world in ways you might not even notice. And if you want more simple but powerful stories like this, make sure you subscribe, because once you understand this, you'll start seeing it everywhere.